saphenous vein. Okay, it starts on the lateral ankle, just under your lateral malleolus, but it then moves over immediately over your tendon, your calcaneal or your Achilles tendon, and travels up the middle of the back of your knee to drain into the popliteal vein. So even here it shows slightly lateral, but it's really right straight in the middle. This is whoever drew this never dissected a cadaver, because you can actually see it right in the back of the calf. All right? So I'm going to draw that in purple, and I am going to draw it lateral, but I want you to recognize that it really is right in the midline of the calf. So it starts lateral, but it becomes medial very soon, and it's going to drain into the popliteal vein. All right? We have one vein left, and then we're done. So this is known as the small saphenous. We call the large one the great saphenous. So you could call this the lesser, but it's referred to just as often as small saphenous vein. It's going to drain right up the back of the calf and empty into the popliteal vein behind the knee. Well, with the small saphenous, we have a great saphenous. And that's shown right here, starting on the medial side of the foot, passing behind the medially, and then up the inside of the leg, up the inside of the knee, medial aspect, all the way up to just below the inguinal ligament. And you can see it right, well, the branching right here is where the great saphenous would come in. Longest vein in the body, often stripped out for individuals like my father-in-law who had a double and then a triple coronary bypass. So he has a 20-inch scar on the inside of his leg and his thigh. So that is the great saphenous vein. Let me see my blue one. We'll start that one medially. I suppose I don't have to draw it in a dotted line because it's the inside, not the back. But it drains into the femoral vein. So if we were to trace a drop of blood from the top of the foot near the big toe, how can we get it back to the heart? Top of the foot. Would we use either of our plantar veins? No. So dorsalis pedis vein, we could have a couple of routes. Dorsalis pedis vein to anterior tibial vein to popliteal vein to femoral vein to external iliac to common iliac to inferior vena cava. All right? And we wanted to use fewer words. We could take the great saphenous vein, which starts on the inside of the top of the foot. And we could go great saphenous vein all the way up to femoral vein, and then external iliac, and completely bypass anterior tibial and posterior and popliteal and most of femoral. Okay? Now what if we wanted to trace a drop of blood from the bottom of the foot? If we were saying the medial aspect, then we would go medial plantar vein to posterior tibial vein to popliteal, femoral, external iliac. If we were on the lateral side, so if I said lateral heel or the little toe, we could go lateral plantar vein and do the same thing. Or we could go small saphenous, because the small saphenous starts on the lateral side of the foot. Okay? We're done. Yay. I could blow through the fetal circulation really fast in 15 minutes, but you wouldn't remember anything. So I'll do that on Tuesday. I actually have a little animation that shows the blood flowing through and around and around and around. That I'll show you on Tuesday as well. Somebody in the class let me know that the answers to the cardiac cycle exercise weren't up on U2L. I put them up, so they're up there now right underneath the activity for the cardiac cycle, okay? And the answers for the tracing questions are up there also. They're already up there. Have fun. Take a break. Don't study for 5 hours at a time. It's warm enough. You can go lay out and draw on yourself in your swimming suits. And then jump in the pool to wash it.